Research on Learning Design for Open Online Collaboration with Eileen Kennedy and Diana Laurillard. At the beginning of our project, we asked 3 research questions. Could there be a future model for higher education that improves on the current model of campus-based education? Could MOOCs help address the large-scale educational challenges implicit in the Sustainable Development Goals? And which digital pedagogies achieve significantly higher productivity of educator time? We've already established that professional development is possible on the large scale. This has implications for traditional campus-based provision, and it means MOOCs are capable of addressing many of the educational challenges implicit in the SDGs, for example, equipping professionals with skills in teaching, healthcare and engineering. But to do this, we need to know 2 things. Which digital pedagogies should we use for designing learning at scale? And how can we know if they're effective? To understand which digital pedagogies we should use for designing learning at scale, we've been undertaking research with MOOC participants about how they learn on MOOCs. We've conducted a series of in-depth interviews using an interactive whiteboard. We asked participants to think of a number of MOOCs or online learning experiences they've had and then compare their features. This enabled them to create a series of evaluation polls for MOOCs and to map the MOOCs they had participated in onto these polls. Finally, they showed us where their ideal course would lie on this scale, and we also recorded and analysed the discussion while this was taking place. Despite the uniqueness of each participant's constructs, there were a number of themes across the grids that emerged quite easily from thematic analysis. These were discussion and social learning, applied learning, digital engagement, learning design, inclusive learning, and deep learning. Here, for example, are a range of constructs at each end of the polls provided by participants that related to the theme of deep learning. Between the polls, the construct closest to participants' ideal course is indicated with an arrow. The participants were generally seeking a deeper learning experience on the MOOCs, but there was a very popular sub-theme of meaningful tests within the theme of deep learning. Tests or quizzes were considered meaningful if they promoted deeper learning, or not if they got in the way, as participant 6 indicated, saying that the constant quizzes in one MOOC got in the way of information. Often multiple choice quizzes were contrasted with more involved peer-reviewed assignments where learning took place in both doing the assignment and doing the review. Our project has identified the importance of peer review as a key pedagogy for scaling professional development in MOOCs, along with discussion and social learning in general. Many participants talked about the discussions they had with peers, although not everyone participated in the discussions or thought they were useful. A sub-theme of the discussion theme emerged strongly, however, about the importance of having educators or those who were representing them as moderators participate in the discussion. All the participants who mentioned this wanted to see more participation by educators to avoid the MOOC feeling like a canned course. The remaining themes focused on inclusive learning, whether it be in terms of accessibility of the language used, the flexibility of access for time-poor professionals, or having things like transcripts and graphics and videos made available. Many participants stated a preference for designs that promoted applied learning, stating a desire for practical, real-world knowledge, and one even used the acronym GLUE, Get a Little, Use Extensively. Some participants mentioned the learning design of the MOOC explicitly or by implication, generally appreciating a sense of logical structure or narrative. The final theme was around the promotion of digital engagement. This included whether the MOOC required digital skills or software to use, whether the videos were dynamic and addressed the learners personally, or whether the environment allowed for interactivity. For example, participants wanted videos and the online learning environment to really exploit the capacity of the digital to help them learn. One participant stated his dislike of the edX platform because it's very serial oriented and it's not obvious that you're doing things in real time. There are implications here for the way we design MOOCs for professionals. We need to create a sense of real-time interaction, productive discussions with educator presence, deeper learning with meaningful opportunities for feedback, practical knowledge, a clear narrative structure, accessible materials, timings and scheduling, effective use of video communication, and opportunities for interactivity.
Now we look at how we use these research findings to improve the way we design an online course. Of the 6 outcomes, here we'll focus mainly on how we aim to achieve applied learning, social learning, and inclusivity. We illustrate this work through a professional development MOOC running on FutureLearn in English and also on the IDRAC platform in Arabic. The target audience is NGO professionals, international agency workers, teachers, and community professionals. And the overall aim is to support them in co-designing research and developing solutions for local communities. The screenshot here shows a step that prompts reflective discussion among the participants. Professional learning is importantly different from undergraduate or master's courses because they have a lot of expertise and practical experience to share. This Padlet tool is one of the ways we invite participants to share their understanding, for example, the way they carry out their observational data collection. A word cloud, such as this example, is a quick and effective way of eliciting and comparing participants' views on an issue such as the main requirements for employability that the community members face. In this case, the word clouds on the Arabic platform and on the English platform were the trigger for further conversations about how community researchers can develop local projects, and the ones that are the most relevant. The community-based research MOOC is running now in English on FutureLearn, but also in Arabic on IDRAC. And the great majority of MOOCs use English only, but our target audience does not. For cultural inclusivity, we therefore create the video case studies in Lebanon with local community leaders, for example. And for language inclusivity, we use the IDRAC platform, which uses Arabic. And the course has been fully translated between the 2 languages, which allows the participants also to contribute in Arabic. That means when I read the participants' comments in the Google Chrome platform, it translates everything into English for me. And this fantastic AI tool has made an extraordinary difference to how we can now expand the horizons of our higher education research and teaching. This automatic translation is the way I'm able to keep pace with and join in the discussions by translating the Arabic comments into English. And I'm very proud to show you my comments on a topic showing here in Arabic. To do this, I have to use Google Translate, the automatic translation tool that's been improving dramatically as it acquires more data. It's not perfect. It takes me some time to keep simplifying my English and back translating until it comes out the same in both directions. And it may not always be an exact translation, but it's much better than not being there at all. We also use Padlet for these professionals to exchange and collaborate on ways of using digital tools. The comments here show the inspirational value of seeing what their peers have been doing. And then we invite them to submit their learning designs for peer review, where the grading helps, because that helps us identify the best contributions. And those sometimes can then be used in later runs of the course. Here are 3 examples of case studies from participants on a blended learning MOOC, a PGCE tutor who saw the benefits of the course on the trainees' practice, a corporate trainer who encouraged his staff to use these techniques in their own training courses, and a program area lead who also saw her staff using the ideas from the MOOC in their own teaching. So this is part of the evaluation data we use to investigate the value to practitioners. So to summarize, the research method is to elicit participants' constructs of the value of MOOCs for professionals, as Eileen was saying right at the start, and that informs our learning design. The value creation methodology we showed demonstrates some of the aspects of the evaluation that we're now embedding in the courses. So the course is designed to support applied learning, social learning, people sharing data, and this is the means by which we can orchestrate collaboration among professionals. The approach, therefore, constitutes an important shift from the idea of the MOOC as a course to becoming more of a process of collaboration among professionals. In other words, massive, open, online collaborations. Thank you very much for listening.